The next few videos are going to be covering design intent, and what this is the process of looking at a part and breaking it down to decide how to break a complex shape into smaller features, and then within those features, which ones are more critical than others and which ones have relationships with other features. And so by looking at these relationships and these features, we can decide the process plan of, okay, we need to create this one first, and then we can create this one based on that one. Maybe there's a slot and holes need to be centered on either side of it. You have to put the slot in first before you can put in the holes. And then you can use the hole at the same time. Or do you want to draw something and on a sketch and center it to do it that way? Or do you want to cut something out of one side and mirror that feature to the other side? Or do you want to be able to draw an entire half the part and then mirror that whole half a part over to make the entire thing that's completely symmetrical? Things like that. Critical dimensions. So do you want to measure this thing from the side or the top or from another feature? All of those things that matter in the use of the product, or we want to kind of to figure out, so that way it helps us to model the part in a way that when we make changes, the things that we want to stay the same, stay the same. So here's a piece that goes on a canning machine, and these rings in here are for two different sizes of cans, but out here, and so there's also a ring here for kind of a bigger can, but this outer dimension really, it could be whatever. It doesn't really matter. It's not super important, but these dimensions here are. Also on this side, there's a post here that fits into a sleeve on the machine, so that's an important thing to have. But also here, and you notice two different parts: metal part, plastic part, or yeah, the plastic part. And so these have to be made separately and then put together, and they need to be lined up so that when it's finished, that this post right here is concentric with these rings right here. So they need to be able to maintain that relationship throughout the process. So to do that. Also, these rings here, there's a certain size they need to be. They need to be a certain depth, certain width of it, certain diameter, or else the can is not going to fit inside of those. So those are all critical things to have. Remember the height of this down to here, maybe that's important. Definitely the depth of those groups, but maybe this overall height, not so important. And so we don't have to make those decisions about what the important parts of a part, or the important features are on a part, and how they're related to each other, helps you to decide how you're going to model it, and how precise you need to be on measurements, and in what type of relationships or constraints you're using between those features when you create them.